All right, let's jump right in. We're going to explore this really powerful story about ambition, focus, and, you know, the surprising secret to actually getting what you want. Seriously, this lesson might just flip the script on how you see your own journey.
Okay, but first, let's talk about something kinda weird. Have you ever felt this? You've got a goal, right? You're working your tail off, but it feels like the more you fixate on it, the further it drifts away? It's like moving backward? What is up with that?
Well, to get to the bottom of this puzzle, we're actually going to look at an old Zen story. It's all about this super ambitious kid named Cooji. He goes on this big journey to find a great master because he's looking for some life-changing wisdom. So the story goes, Cooji makes this trek all the way up to the highest temple he can find. He's totally determined, heart full of hope, and when he finally finds the master, he walks right up, ready to ask this one single question that he thinks is going to unlock everything for him.
And the question is simple. Master, how can I find Zen? That's it. The master, he sees this fire in the boy's eyes, this raw enthusiasm, and he gives him this really calm, simple answer. But an answer that's about to kick off a huge lesson.
And this is where it gets really interesting. Cooji's path to, getting it doesn't start with a nice, clear roadmap. Nope. It starts with a bunch of confusing answers that make absolutely no sense and seem to fly in the face of all his hard work. So what does the master say? 10 years. Just like that. Now, 10 years is not exactly the shortcut Cooji was looking for, right? But instead of getting down about it, it just lights a fire under him. He's thinking, okay, I can beat that. So he figures he can just hustle his way to enlightenment faster. He goes back to the master and says, but what if I work even harder, like really, really hard? How long then? He's totally expecting the master to say, oh, well, in that case, 5 years. Yeah, that's not what happened. The master just kind of looks at him, takes a beat, and says, 20 years. Can you imagine? The time frame just doubled. Now Cooji's really starting to get confused. Okay, so now he's confused, but he's not giving up. He decides to go all in. He makes the ultimate promise. He says, Master, forget everything else. What if I give my entire life to this, my total, complete devotion? Then how long? And the master's answer? 30 years. Just flat out. And that was it. Cooji was crushed. It made no sense. The more effort he promised, the longer the master said it would take. It was completely backward. But then, seeing the poor kid is just completely bewildered, the master finally lets him in on the secret. He explains the whole thing with one single, powerful sentence. He says, when you have one eye fixed on the goal, you have only one eye on your path. Now, that's a pretty deep thought, right? So to make it really click, the master uses a simple analogy. It's like a little story within the story, and it just perfectly explains what he means. He tells Cooji, okay, picture this. You're climbing a really tall tree, and at the very, very top is the most perfect, juicy piece of fruit you can imagine. That fruit, that's your goal. That's your Zen. It's really a stand-in for anything we're trying to achieve. And this is where you see the two approaches side by side. On one hand, you've got the goal-obsessed climber. He's just staring up at that fruit, right? Not looking where he puts his feet, risking a fall. Then you have the process-focused climber. He's paying attention to the very next handhold, the next step. He's feeling the rough bark, breathing the air. And what happens? He gets there safely, and he actually got something out of the climb itself. Okay, so that's a great story, but what does it mean for us? How do we take this ancient wisdom and apply it to our own lives, to climbing our own trees? I mean, this applies to everything, a career goal, a fitness journey, learning an instrument, you name it. It really comes down to this one big shift, moving from being goal-obsessed to being process-focused. It's about taking your eyes off the prize, just for a minute, and putting them on the present. You stop thinking about what will I get, and start asking, what am I doing right now? So here's how you can actually do this. Think of it like a 4-step framework. Step 1, sure, define your goal. You have to know what fruit you're climbing for. But step 2 is crucial. Immediately shift your focus to the one next step, just the next one. Then step 3, actually enjoy the effort. Find the good in the work itself. And finally, step 4, you arrive at your goal, but you're not just holding the prize. You've gained wisdom and strength along the way. You see, the master was never punishing Cooji for being ambitious. That wasn't the point at all. He was trying to show him that the goal, it just becomes a natural outcome when you learn to value the process. The real win isn't just getting the fruit, it's who you become on the climb up.
And that really brings us to the final question, and this one's for you to think about. What fruit in your life right now is so bright, so shiny, that it might be blinding you to the actual path you're on today? What journey are you missing while you're staring at the destination?